these three states, but little different from human beings. In this way, either triads or names and forms, this is called world, the whole universe. Whether you see the sun, moon, or stars, or wind, or ocean, or rivers, or mountains, or trees, or animals, birds, whatever you have in this creation, everything is within this. Everything has a form and a name will be there. And these names and forms are originated basically, minutely when we see, it is originated basically from some subtler state and it has become gross. See the tree, if you analyze, it has come from very tiny seed and then it becomes little grass. It manifests itself, exposes itself, projects out, it expresses itself and it becomes the sprout. Slowly, two leaves become thousands and then one stem becomes great, big trunk, log of wood, and it will have branches, sub-branches, buds, leaves, flowers, and fruits, and many other things. So all these start from one single minute seed. So easily we can say the subtle becomes gross, or one becomes many. This is the process. One becomes many, or subtle becomes gross. So when we see all these innumerable names and forms grossly around us, visible to our gross eyes, they are the result, they have come from the very subtle state. They have become gross, that's how they have become visible. Just as, for example, just as hydrogen and oxygen, they are invisible, isn't it? We don't see it by naked eyes, we cannot see it. When they get together, they create the subtle particle of atom of water, and when all these subtle atoms get together, they become molecules, and slowly they become visible to us in the form of humidity, fog, or vapor, or then clouds. In this way, they become visible, and still further, they become water, and still further, they become ice, and still further, go ahead, they become very solid when they are under pressure, either under the huge amount of, say, snow, or in somehow if it is pressurized, when it goes down the earth, sometimes by earthquake or something, they are under that ice, they are under high pressure, and that's how they become charcoal, and slowly they become diamond. And that diamond is so strong, it can even cut the iron pieces. So strong it becomes, so solid it becomes. Which was so subtle, oxygen and hydrogen. This is the process of this world also. Everything. Now you have a gross body. When your body was in mother's womb, it was such a tiny embryo. This is with every animal, every, say, animals, birds, everywhere. Everything takes a gross form from the subtlemost original form. So if we see the whole world together, all the names, all the forms, including the whole universe, they are brought forth from the minutest anuraniyan, the smaller than the smallest atom, we cannot say, some central, original source, smaller than the smallest, subtler than the subtlemost. From that one center, everything has come out, and that analytically when we see that process of expressiveness or projection or manifestation is called vibratory system. Vibratory matlab it vibrates, and because it is so transparent, so spotless, nothing is there, so one, without a second, all pervading, ever existing, one central object wherefrom all these manyness or grossness has taken origin. So that we call it is the almighty, all contained, the substratum, all holder, the cause for all the causes, that is, that even though it cannot have any name, any form, because it is subtler than the subtlemost, so we cannot give any form, any name to it, but we have to accept it is the center of everything. So it is the holder of everything, substratum for everything. So that is the highest truth, that much we can say. Beyond that we cannot go. So if we understand this process, the gross has come from subtle. Now, whatever we see around us, our visible world, we have to accept it has come from that absolute source. We have to. So is there any difference? Can you find any difference? Can you find any difference between the diamond and oxygen? Now we have seen the process. There is no difference between the diamond and the oxygen.
Can I put a
Surely not one, many.
No.
Yes,
Can
yes.
I ask a question? You said smaller than smallest, subtler than subtlest. Very is one central object. There is one central object.
One center for everything.
One center. But can I say one central space?
Center?
Instead of you said one central object, there subtler than subtlest, smaller than smallest.
Sattva?
In center, in minute
Center, that is center, yes.
The center, that center you said one central object.
Yes.
Can
Object means it is not object. We have to say something.
So can I say one central space?
We can.
Okay.
We can say. And not only space. Whatever you like, you can name it.
Okay.
We have named it as Supreme Truth, the Supreme Self, the origin of everything. And now we are coming to little aside from our subject. This is the process. From this process, when we see the subtle becomes gross, that is by vibratory system. Vibratory system. When one becomes, when the center becomes imbalanced, or it moves, or it vibrates, then only it can become gross, it can project itself, then only it can become a circle. When the center, one point, when it spreads all round, then only it becomes the circle. It has to vibrate, it has to move, it has to express, it has to project out. Then only it becomes the circle. Center and the circle, what is the difference? कहाँ जा रहे, कहाँ गया यार, चलो. See, there is a center here. If this center, are you able to see? The circle has got a center. If the center does not express itself, projects itself, or we can say, if it doesn't move, can it become the circle? Can it become the what do you call it?
Circumference.
परिधि को क्या कहते हो? और दूसरा anyway, this is a line. The circle is made by a line. Can you define it? Line, round line. The line is known as the track of a single dot. When the dot travels, every moment changing its direction, then it makes a round circle. If it doesn't change the directions, it makes a straight line. This becomes a straight line when it doesn't, the dot never changes its direction and travels. Its track is known as a straight line. And when the circle, we say, a round line or curved line, it is nothing but the track of the path of a dot. A dot travels every moment changing its direction. So it makes a round circle. Okay, this is how in geometry we have the definition of a circle or a round line. So, what I mean, if the center does not move and expresses itself, it doesn't move and move again and again, goes further and further, it cannot make any circle. If it is steady, it cannot make its circle. If it goes on moving, then finally we see a circle. Okay? Are you able to understand it?
Yes, and I think we can say vibration.
This is called vibration.
Vibration.
Yes.
Vibration.
Yes. See, the next one.
Yeah.
This is how our our galaxy, when the center goes on moving, our form of our galaxy is like this. It has to take this form. All the galaxies, not only ours, it has to move on in this way because nothing is stable and nothing is stable, and from opposite angle nothing is moving, everything is stable. Why? These vibrations, this movement means vibration, and changing its position. This is how we know our journey, or expression we call it, or projection we call it, or manifestation we call it, or we can say journey of life, journey of beings, the life's journey. And still further we can say the evolutionary process. This is how. This is the process. And we see it differently from different angles, from different understanding. And sometimes we see the gross ones, sometimes we say half gross, half circle. In this way we interpret it, and language differs from each other. But the process is this. This is basic process. Everything moves on. And this is how the creation is. And all these galaxies or our stars, they have been made, or they have been taken a form or a name as we think.
Swamiji, do you call this vibration prana?
Exactly. Exactly, you are one step ahead.
Okay.
That is called prana, vibratory system. Again, that is called urja or power, or power or energy, and again that same thing is known as sound. We name it differently from different angles as per our vision and our understanding, we see it how it is working, how it is used. In this way we give different names relatively, but the process is the same. We may name it differently. Don't worry about the names and meanings of the words. We have to center on the process we have to understand. This is the process. What I mean, this vibration is called sound, and this is called also life or vital energy, or we call it prana. And slowly, according to its actions and its reactions, we name it differently. According to its qualities, we name it differently. We call, as per our Vedic system, we have 10 pranas in the body, 10, and 5 are men, and other 5 are subordinates, helping hand. These prana in different way, in different regions of the body, they work out their particular system, and this is how all the vibratory system works out, and our nerve system in the body, they work. You know better than me. You are a doctor. So in this way, the whole body, we know it by acupressure, acupuncture, or by nerve centers. In different way we see it, and when it gets blocked, we by pressure or by pranayama also, by forcing the air, or by some medicines also, or by some exercises, we activate all these nerve systems, then the body works properly. That is called diseaseless, working properly as it is desired. So in this way, the whole universe is set up. All these names and forms, whatever we see around us, that is nothing but the absolute one central truth. It cannot be differentiated from that central absolute origin, truth. It cannot be different from that. Slowly, when the process starts of manifestation or expression or projection, or what else you can say, or expression, projection, manifestation, or we can say grossification, or as you like, you can say it. This is how the creation is made. This is the secret of the creation. That's how the whole nature, which we see as a visible world, nature means the eternal process. of creation is known as nature. So this nature is nothing but a changing process, and creating, when it changes, one becomes more, many. When it changes, then comes time, space, and condition, and all these. This is how we see this world, names with names and forms. So, this visible world is not different from, there is no difference between this and that. This means the circle, and that means the center. Circle is not different from the center. So world is not different from the truth. Why it is seen, why this world is seen with names and forms? Because our vision is limited. Our eyes are in this process only. The process will see the process by process. If the atom wants to understand, you see, oxygen wants to understand what is diamond, how will it understand? Or if the diamond wants to understand what is atom, oxygen, how to understand? It has to go through this process. Grass should go through the minimizing or subtlifying process, or if the subtle wants to understand the gross, then it has become gross. This is how we have some ideas of God manifesting in the time of need, when there is much disorder in the nature. The truth, absolute truth, we call it God. God manifests, that means incarnates in very powerful form to bring everything, harmonize everything, to settle everything. That's how we call this. The subtlemost truth takes a form, but it has no form. It can take form because it has taken all these forms. So, from this way, if we analyze, we go on contemplating over this, we see no difference between this world and God. No difference. And if it is understood and accepted, understanding is different. Acceptance is still more difficult. We understand, we don't accept it. If we accept it from our heart of hearts, then we have to see God everywhere. We are bound to see. We have to see the subtle existence in these gross names and forms. That is called awareness. Awareness, we can say. The existence absolute, awareness absolute. The center is aware of itself. It does exist, and it is satisfied with its existence of knowledge. So these three aspects are called Sat, Chit, Anand, existence and knowledge and bliss absolute. Three aspects of the absolute. And we go on.
Can we also say existence of knowledge and bliss?
Existence nobody can deny, and existence has to be aware of itself, so that is called knowledge. And when it is aware of its existence, then it is happy, satisfied, contented. That 100% contentment of awareness of existence is known as bliss. And perfection, fullness, then there is no need anything of any need, because it is perfect, it is complete. Everything is there. And this is how the truth is all pervading, ever existing, eternal, and will be only one without a second, all knowing, all powerful. It has to, or else it cannot exist. So this is how, when we contemplate, when we analyze, then we see there is no difference anywhere between the names and forms. Everything is only one homogeneous truth, which is all pervading, ever existing, and ever aware of it. Up to this we have discussed in with different examples, different discussions, different arguments, and different stories. All these are going on after the story of the great ascetic named Monkey, with dialogue with the great Guru Vasistha. They met each other, and their dialogue is given us as a story, and the essence of the story is this. Now we can go further. इस तरह के वेद सम्मत अभेद को जो पुरुष नहीं जानता, उसको निंदा करते हैं. This what we have discussed now. This is the essence of all the modern science, all the old science ever known to the history of human beings. This is the essence. But this is given to us in different language, different ways, different methods. So we have difference in opinions, difference in religions, and difference among the cultures and faiths, because the expression differs. But this is the essence. Wherever you go, if you impartially, wholeheartedly, if you see everything analytically, the modern science says also same thing. The old science of whole world, all the religions have to agree to this. They say this only. You know, in Bible, in Christianity, yes, they say in the beginning of the creation there were two words. We also say the same thing. Onkara Statha Sabdasya Daveto Brahmana Pura. There were only two words in the very beginning of the creation. When the Creator starts creation, He expresses itself by two words. One is Pranam Om, then other is atha means then sound is expressed or projected out, and then what happens? Then it has to go on. And what is the process? That is called creative process, creation process. Everywhere the same thing you will get, in Quran also. But Quran, they have been misleaded because of different situations, different time, and they have misinterpreted the Quran according to the situation and demand of the time and space situation. That's how Quran appears as if different from all other scriptures. But all the scriptures, what about our क्या जी कहाँ गए वो our Guru Granth Sahib, हाँ क्या बोलता है ग्रंथ साहिब? Same thing. The Punjabis, Sikhs, they also same thing. It is sound, and the primordial sound is one, and slowly it goes on taking many forms. This is the creative process. In this we see different religions, different sects, different castes, different faiths, because one goes away from the other, isn't it? That also I have shown. When one travels from the center to the it goes from centers away, then every point they goes on making difference more and more between themselves. See, from the center, if this point goes this side and another point goes this side, they go on creating difference only. And when they go centerward, they will lessen their difference. They will minimize their difference. And when they go outward, they will create more difference. This is how we have been different from each other. Now, he says, one who doesn't know this or knowingly doesn't accept it, knows but he doesn't accept it, he is not fit to call, not worthy to call a human being. Why? Why? Suppose Jinan. I asked, who are you?
I'm a human being.
Pardon?
I'm a human being.
Super being.
Super, no, Cuba.
Cuba being.
Human being. Human being.
Human being.
Yes.
Okay. You are a human being.
Yes.
Where from you have come? As a human being. Not from Japan. Japan is not the center of origin of human beings. No. Then you cannot say, I am coming from Japan. Where from you are? You must know. If you don't know who are you, have you got any right to ask me who are you? Simple logic. When I don't know who am I, where from am I, what is my name, what do I do, what for? If I don't know all this about myself, have I got any right to ask you all these questions? So, as a human being who has got little intellect, God has given us little intellect. If we use it, then we should use it first on ourselves. Who am I? Where from am I? What for am I? When am I? All these questions should be known. Then only I will have right to ask you. Who are you? Where from you have come? What is your name? What is your business? What do you do? All these, then only I can ask. I should ask, or else I have no right. When you don't know about yourself, you are asking me. You see, when you phone to each other, hello, yes, hello Jinan, yes, then I have to say this is the courtesy, the code of conduct. I have to say, I am Swami Premanand from Uttarakashi Ganeshpur. I am speaking. Can I talk to you for 2 minutes? Hello Jinan, are you Jinan speaking? This is how the talk should proceed, should start. You have to give your introduction first, because nobody knows who is speaking, where from, what for. So you have to give your introduction first, and then you have to ask the introduction of the other person to whom you want to talk. Then only relationship can be settled. This is the process. Hello. Yes, sir. How are you? Nobody knows each other. And they are talking. Have you taken your food? Yes, as long ago, 1 year ago. Meaningless. They go on talking like that, some mad chaps. I am not joking, really. These children, without knowing anybody, they go on talking and keeping. Then they slowly keep relationship. Oh, come here, we shall meet. Nobody knows each other. So this is a wrong method. You must know yourself. If you don't know yourself as a human being, then you are not worthy to be called a human being. This is what is condemning people who don't know this, where from they have been originated, what is their source, and how do they create all these differences. Of course, in relative world, when we deal with names and forms, we have to deal differently. We have to see difference between two. Then only we can behave. That is there. But inwardly we must know they are not different from each other. I must know Jinan is a human being. I must behave with him as a human being, isn't it? Or shall I behave with him as a stone piece? So, if I don't know myself as a human being, how can I know him as a human being? I must know myself perfectly well, say 100% to its fullest completion or perfection. I must know myself. This is the first and foremost duty of every human being. If this duty is not done, you are not worthy to be called as a human being. This is what he is condemning these ignorant persons who don't know this. भद्र ऐसा होने पर भी पुरुष और कर्म में तथा बीज और अंकुर में जिस पुरुष को भेद वास्तविक भासता है, उस महान पंडित पशु को निरंतर नमस्कार ही करना चाहिए. He says, Vasistha is explaining to Rama, my dear Ram, see, everybody should, everyone, every human being ought to know this, that he is none other than the Supreme Truth. Knowing this, when he behaves with these names and forms with other beings, he may behave relatively or comparatively or creating some differences. We have to. If I don't accept difference between Jinan and Swamiji, then how can I give something and take something? Can right hand gives something to left hand and he has to take back from left hand? Is it possible? In oneness it is not possible. When there is difference, then transaction can be done. And that is called relative transaction. In this world, the relative world, it is only giving something and taking something. This is how we keep up our relationship. We have to keep up our relationship because everything is one. We cannot differentiate each other. So we have to grossly keep up our relationship with each other. And knowingly this, there is no difference. Outwardly, we have to behave with difference. And one who doesn't do this, doesn't know this, he is not a human being. He is a wise beast. He is a wise beast, animal. Wise animal. This is how he abuses. Ram, one who doesn't know this, accepts it, who that human being is not worthy to call human being. He is an animal, but we can say this little wise animal, educated animal, educated animal, we can say. Who are the educated animals? You see, in circus we have seen educated animals. The dogs, the goats, the lions, or the monkeys, they are taught, they are educated to do something at hints. So they are called educated animals, trained animals. Anyway, That means he emphasizes upon the truth to be known by everyone. Every human being ought to know. It is his birthright. He should know. Without knowing this, he is not a human being. He cannot claim himself to be a human being. वासना के संबंध से जनित संसार की संसार बीजता वासना के विनाश से नष्ट हो जाता है. वासना के संबंध से जनित संसार बीजता वासना के विनाश से नष्ट हो जाता है. जन्म के कारण संबित स्पंदन में जो भीतर का वासना रस है वही बाहर अंकुर फेंकता है. इसीलिए ये उस वासना रस को असंग रूप अग्नि से आप जला दीजिए. Now he is giving the duty and the method of doing the duty. As a human being, one should know this, and he should also know the process how to get rid of the mistake he is doing. Mistake is done by creating difference, and by when we accept there is a difference between two and we behave with the idea of difference, then there will be, it is called ignorance. We know there is no difference and yet we behave as there is a difference. That is called knowledge. Understood? We know there is difference between two outwardly, not inwardly. Jinan and Swamiji both are human beings. That is, she knows. So she has to behave with us as human beings, isn't it? She cannot behave us as animals because she knows both are human beings. Okay? She cannot behave with a difference. The idea is both same and behavior as difference, because she has to give you some books to read and she has to give me some snacks to eat. This is difference. But both are human beings. Idea within her is one. One idea, when he behaves outwardly, it creates difference. There is no complaint, no objection. This is called knowledge. Inwardly knowing everything is one, outwardly behaving as many, this is called knowledge. And inwardly knowing everywhere there is a difference, outwardly knowing everything is different from each other and behaving in that way is called ignorance. Inwardly difference, outwardly difference, that is ignorance. Inwardly no difference, outwardly difference, that is called knowledge. Difference is there outside. You cannot deny it, but you should know there is no difference. Okay? When you go to a forest, You want some firewood from the forest. Okay? Firewood. Dried sticks of fire, wood. Some firewood, dried say branches of some trees fallen, or you can cut from the trees. You have gone there to collect some firewood. Will you create differences? I must not take some firewood from, you see, those क्या वो sunflower trees, वो भूरांस को क्या बोलते हैं? भूरांस, rhododendron, big bunches of red flowers. There are plenty in the sides of Himalayas. So the trees are there, and some very hard wood trees are there, very difficult to cut, and it solid. And some very soft trees are there. Every tree gets dried up, and when you have gone to collect some dry woods, do you create difference in this is from flower tree, I should not take. This is from soft tree, I should not take. This is from strong, solid tree, I should not take. Do you create all these differences? You have to collect some dried woods for making fire. Do you create any differences when collecting firewood? Of course, I don't know, you don't have so many forests. You never had collected firewoods, perhaps. Never mind. Another example. When you go to the market, okay, you see, you have to purchase some mangoes because it is very nice for you. And till now we are getting mangoes. It is off season, yet we are getting some local mangoes. Go to market and purchase some mangoes. Okay? So, will you purchase only mangoes or go on finding differences between different shops? Oh, this man has mangoes, this is like this. This man has got mangoes, and this is something different from that. And that man has some mangoes, that is also different from this man's mango. Will you go on creating differences? Mangoes are mangoes in every shop, isn't it? Of course, price may be different, but mangoes are same. Similarly, when you go to pluck some flowers from the trees, do you find difference between flowers from one tree in one tree? All are white flowers, and every flower has similar fragrance, similar size and everything. Where is there difference? No. But when you see different flowers in different trees, this is white flower, this is red flower, of course we see the difference, but we don't see the difference inwardly. we see it is flower, it is used for the worship, isn't it? Inwardly no difference, outwardly difference. Understood? When you purchase mangoes, you have no difference between mangoes here and there, but you may create difference by price or size or appearance. But you know inwardly everyone is mango. There is no difference. Outwardly maybe this stuff, that stuff, that stuff. Outwardly flowers of different colors from different plants, but inwardly flowers are used for, all the flowers are same, they are used for worship or making garlands. Similarly, we should know all of us are human beings. We should behave each other as we want from each other. If I behave with you, I must behave with you, thinking how he will behave with me. Do unto others as you wish to be done by others. Your behavior should be such that others, whatever behavior you have for others, they will also behave similarly with you. You must accept it. If I abused you, what shall I feel when you abuse me? When I have slapped you, and of course you will slap me, then I must be ready, I must feel happy when I have got some slaps. That is how they say, do unto others as you wish to be done by others. Relatively, what you give, you should be ready to get similar things from others, similar behavior, same thing from others. That means you must behave with every creature, every being as beings, because you are a being. So you must not misbehave with any being. That is called eternal righteousness or dharma, we say. The eternal dharma. And this is known to the wise people, those who are really called human beings, worth to be called human beings. Others are ignorant human beings, are called wise animals. They are not human beings. Understood? Inwardly no difference. Everything is one, same, no difference. Outwardly in behavior, in relative world, we have to see difference. This is the basic law of all the religions of the whole world, whole universe. And tomorrow we shall see where from this difference starts its origin, where from this difference is created. Of course, now we have seen thoroughly well from all angles, there is no difference. Okay? But tomorrow we shall see where from this difference has been brought forth, where from it originates, why this difference has come to us, which has created so much havoc, The whole life is miserable because of these differences. So we shall see what is the root cause of these differences. So where from it has come. Okay? Today this much. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnada Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Santi 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 Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai, Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai, Sabda Brahma ki jai, Saraswati Maharani ki jai, Jogavasirji Bhagavan ki jai. Hari Om. You see, Mataji.